Today we are speaking to Nobuhle Mimi Mahlasela as we enter the third hour of the show of Power Lunch. Welcome to it, Power Family, and thank you so much for the love that you've shown us. Of course, questions, comments that you may have for Nobuhle Mahlasela, also Mimi, that's how she's known as well. But as she walked in, I said, "Hi, Aggie." Because like I said, Seven Delon brought us up, okay? I'm sure I know my Afrikaans. I learned Afrikaans through Seven Delon. I had a fabulous teacher. And then Aggie and the team come on, and Hilda and all of them. And I'm just like, okay, I need to sit. I wasn't even reading the subtitles anymore at some point. I was like, okay, I completely understand this. Good afternoon.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you, sis?
Very well,
Fantastic.
thank you. Something that we spoke about as a team as well, and you mentioned it when you walked in, that, look, you're good, but you're tiny bit nervous.
Not even tiny, major. I still get nervous for radio interviews, any interview. I still get nervous on set when I have to go shoot. So, yeah, it's always been that for the past 18 years in the game.
Look, I suppose it's okay, right?
Yeah, somebody once told me, I mean, you and I had this chat as well now, that the nerves are good as long as they don't stop you from doing the work. Because some people get nervous to a point where they literally cannot perform anymore. So the nerves are good. It means you're still in the game and you've got room to grow. Whereas if you don't have nerves, you're comfortable and you're chilled and you're just like, easy land.
Yeah. And you don't give your all, I suppose, anymore, right? And I said to Nobuhle that, I myself still get nervous. Yep. When I come do a show, I still get very nervous, which I suppose is normal.
Yeah.
So like I said, we know you from the lovely soapy Seven Delon.
Yes, ma'am.
Back in the day. What was that role like for you, And I suppose also being a black lady on what we could term an Afrikaans soapy.
That role was very demanding for me, but I loved Aggie. I loved playing Aggie every day. And also she grew a lot. I mean, she came in as a domestic worker, and by the time the show ended in 2023, she owned businesses, honey. She was the it girl in town. It was very demanding in the sense that I was on set every day, Monday to Tuesday, from 6 a.m. till 7 p.m. I literally had only weekends to figure out my personal life. So yeah, but it was fun. It was adventurous, and also in Indaba yokuthi bengi actor with my third language. Everybody doesn't know this. Everybody assumes that I'm colored, and I'm like, no, I'm a Zulu girl.
My goodness.
So I had to do extra work in preparing in terms of scripts and the storyline I was in at the time, because third language, it doesn't come naturally to me. I had a acting coach and an Afrikaans tutor to help me with that, her name is Karen Retief. Shout out to Karen Retief. Whoever's listening and knows Karen, please just tell her I love her immensely. But that helped a lot. So it was fun and demanding, and it taught me a lot about resilience in the game. So, yeah.
And we'll unpack a bit more, right? But you speak about it being your third language. Yeah. So isiZulu would be the first. What's your second?
Second would be Xhosa, Sotho, and then it's Afrikaans.
Okay.
Yeah, and then obviously English, yeah.
So Afrikaans and then English.
Yeah, now. Yeah.
Okay.
At first it was English, then Afrikaans. Now I'm like, Macy, ex Afrikaans go word.
And to get it right, with a soapy like Seven Delon, to get the accent right, to get the, there's a lot with Afrikaans, because if you think you're saying a particular sentence in English, in Afrikaans, things turn around, right? Yeah. Things are different and lined up differently within the sentences.
The rhythm of the language.
Yes, the rhythm of that. So for you to get it right, of course, you speak about, the tutor as well that you had.
Yeah.
But there must have been some kind of determination from your end. Where did you first pick up Afrikaans and say, oh, this is a cute language?
It was, obviously, I did Afrikaans in high school, but I was just passing it. I wasn't an excellent student in Afrikaans. And then in my varsity years, I went to Pretoria Technikon. Okay, that shows how old I am. But anyway, it's fine. I think now I must say the right term, Tshwane University of Technology.
Yes.
And they lectured in English and Afrikaans. So we had an English group and an Afrikaans group. And in my first year, obviously, I went with English. And in our second year, we had a choice. You could either do the Afrikaans group or the English group. And I chose the Afrikaans group.
For lectures?
Yeah,
You were
for my
brave,
second
man.
year, like all of us, you know. And the reason why I did that, I saw an opportunity because I thought, okay, there isn't a lot of black female actors in the country that speak Vernac, English, and Afrikaans. So if I can add that to my languages, just gives me a step ahead. And here we are.
And it did indeed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also a TUT alumni. Okay,
Oh, nice.
so yeah, no, it really is. It was a beautiful place to study.
Yeah.
I must say. But you, of course, you grew up in Alexandra, and I can just imagine when you decided that you wanted to act. What was that like? I mean, a lot of actors that we speak to, they say, you know, Nakhalevela ke actor, you know, I've always been in the streets and acting for my friends or for my family. Was that the same for you?
Here's the thing. At home, I come from a family of teachers. Ekhaya bayafundisa. Ugogo beka vice principal esikolweni. Umama beka utitshera, abomalume abotitshera. When they get married to teachers. So they expected all of us to be teachers, right? And here I come. I took a gap year after my matric because I was scared to tell them, Gucci, this is where I want to go. So eventually when I told them, my grandmother, she's late now, she's like, yo, Sazol Klupega, you are going to be poor. Because those people have nothing. I'm like, Gogo, who are those people? I say, actors. Mtanam, be a teacher. You get government subsidy for housing. You get. So it was a thing, but eventually they accepted it and they were very supportive at home, even though they didn't understand what is it exactly that I want to do. They just thought, okay, she wants to do this, let's support her.
That's beautiful, though.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the scare tactics that came with it, you are still supported and supported quite heavily, right?
Yes.
That step ahead that you spoke about, and I want us to go back to it because it is important, because that's where we know you from, right? When it starts to when it comes to Seven Delan. But that step ahead that you purposefully took in TUT. For you to do that and to make that decision, especially in your second year, first of all, that is very brave.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Thank
on that.
I only realized how brave I was now. I'm like, what?
That was very brave. And then to pass as well, you know, being taught in Afrikaans purely. Did you ever get, and I'm asking because in this day and age now, there's still there is now this thing of Afrikaans is a bad language because of the people, what, and apartheid and all of that.
Yeah.
Did you ever get that talk or that kind of people speaking negatively about you being able to speak Afrikaans as a black young lady so fluently?
I didn't get it directly, but it was underlying somewhere there. And my thing about it was, this is a choice that I made for my career, and as much as it has a negative energy towards it, it is part and parcel of our history, whether we like it or not. So I didn't really pay much attention to it because my thing was, this is me giving myself a head start within the industry, being the only, not the only, at the time being the only black actress in the country that can speak Afrikaans fluently and Vernac and English. It just opens up more doors for me. And I didn't pay attention to it really. I really didn't. As I said, no one came up to me directly or tweeted me or said, listen, what is this, So I think also people just, more than anything, I got a positive feedback from it. People were always like, this is amazing. What you're doing is amazing. You're teaching us Afrikaans. You are inspiring us and to learn the language. So yeah, as much as there was a little bit of underlying, the positive side was more.
That's great.
Yeah. That's
really great. So with the dramatic arts that you studied at TUT, what was your experience like?
It was fun. It was lots of fun, honestly. The one thing though, however, I I didn't understand this. We had this one class which was called movement, and we were doing aerobics, we were doing Taibo, we were doing all sorts of things. I'm like, manje le ingena kuphi ku acting ngoba mina ngifuna ukuzi-actela. Hey, sinini siya jumpa, siya crosser, siya stretcher. I'm like, guys, wait a minute, what are we doing? I always avoided the class because I was like, I'm not physically okay for this nonsense. But yeah, other than that, it was lots of fun. It was very informative. I went to school with very talented human beings. Our lecturers were also very supportive. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
In conversation with Nobuhle Mimi Mahlasela, she's of course an actress in South Africa, known for her role as Aggie on Seven Delan. But hey, she has moved. Okay, I will also move with the times now and stop necessarily going back to that. We'll continue our conversation with Mimi in a short while.
Power Lunch, weekdays 12 to 3 p.m. on Power 98.7.
1425 on Power 98.7. Questions, comments that you may have for Mimi Nobuhle Mahlasela. She, of course, is a South African actress. Remember, you can give us a call, 0861 000, or you can drop us an X at Power FM 987 at Tshegohaco Moagi_. Do you remember your first audition?
My first audition into the industry.
Yes.
I do. It was for a commercial. It was for a commercial. It was I got the job, by the way. That was my first paying job. But I think I earned like 1,200 after tax and the agent's commission. So yeah, but I do remember it. It was lots of fun.
And I suppose it is those first auditions that make you who you are, right? That lead you to it, because I suppose you've grown in leaps and bounds from then.
Yeah.
And you've learned quite a lot.
Yeah, I have.
About the industry, but also about yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, I still go to auditions even now. Someone asked me the other day, I walked into an audition for a commercial. It's like, you still come to auditions? I'm like, yes, that's part and parcel of the job. Like, how else am I going to get work if I don't go to auditions? So yeah, and I love going to auditions because it gives me an opportunity to prepare for a different character every time, which obviously gives you a chance to just practice on your craft, which is great, you know. So yeah, I love going to auditions. Nerve-wracking, but it's fun.
And still nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Even now. So this opportunity, I'm going to go back just a little bit, Power Family, to Seven Delan. How did that come about?
So Seven Delan happened while I was still studying. I was in my third year. And one of the directors had come to school to come and watch our third year auditions. What happens is when you're in third year towards the end of the year, you have to obtain a 70% pass rate, where you get into a space where you prepare auditions for casting directors and directors within the industry that the school invites. So one of the directors was there. His name is Henry. He came, saw my audition, and he was like, listen, there is a role that you need to be the one that's playing it on Seven Delan. And I know you're still studying at the time. We couldn't work professionally in the industry while we're still studying. But we really need you for this role. And towards the end of the year, I'm sure the dean can do something. They spoke to the dean. The dean was like, happy days. I'm okay. She can do it. And that's how it started.
And we've spoken off air about how it has transformed, right? You also mentioned this actually on air about how that your character changed over the years.
Yeah.
Was that an intentional thing? Because, I mean, you need to be able to resonate with your audience.
Yeah, that was an intentional thing. So what happens is we go in on a yearly basis. We go in to sit with producers and see what we can do for the character, the storyline. And one of my discussions with the producers at the time was, look, we need to make this character, yes, the people love it, but we need to make her relatable. At the time it was 2005, right? Not all black females at Aggie's age at the time are domestic workers. They aspire to do more. And I want someone sitting at home and saying, I can recognize that girl is me when they look at Aggie. And we decided to obviously take her to a different direction where she started her own cleaning business instead of just being the domestic worker working for other people. She started her own business employing other people. So yeah, that's how it started.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, you then worked in film as well. With Mad Buddies,
Yeah,
to my
everybody-
father's war. How different was that, for you stepping into the film space now? I mean, the cameras are always there, but what was the difference for you?
The difference with film is that you don't always have to play it big like you do for a soapy. And the type of soapy that Seven the Land was, it was more like a, how do I put it, like an escape and comedy. So there was always these larger than life characters, for instance, Obas and Mam Chemsi Times, who played Maria. So it was always this larger than life. And with film, you don't always have to go, woo, this big. It's always here. And the camera can always catch whatever emotion or whatever story you're trying to tell in your eyes. So it wasn't that much of a difference to transition into. And also, I had, how do I put it? With a soapy, you are there the whole day to practice, to block your scene. With film, you get there, we shoot, but we go like this. There's no time for practicing and all of that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of change, I suppose, an adjustment for you. Nobuhle Mahlasela is a South African actress and she's joining us for Who's for Lunch. Let's go to news headlines with Nhlanhla Sihume and we'll continue our conversation with Nobuhle shortly.
Speak up. Call the power line on 0861 987 000.
14:35 on Power 98.7. Nobuhle Mahlasela joining us in studio for Who's for Lunch. And we wrap up the show with her, of course, this afternoon. And Nobuhle, we speak about Seven Delan, we speak about Mad Buddies, we speak about Mad Buddies to My Father's War. We also speak, and as an actress, I suppose, you don't just do the TV, right? You don't just do the film. Theatre is also something that you would dabble around as an actress, right? And you've done some great work at the Joburg Theatre. And I always ask actresses, what is your favorite between all of them?
I feel like it's an unfair question because it's like choosing one out of your three kids. I would say theatre.
Okay.
Yeah, simply because I'm a theatre trained actress, and just the process of being in a theatre play and preparing for opening night. Yeah, so I'll definitely say theatre.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. But when we think about the theatre space, and like you say, you prefer theatre, the TV, film, and theatre very different, right, from each other. And I suppose it gives you that live element to theatre.
Yeah.
Where you get to see the audience reaction immediately.
And every night is not the same.
Oh.
It's because you've got a different audience every night. You also have to remember that you can, as much as you've prepared and rehearsed this play and you are now presenting it in front of the audience, you've got to give the audience time to react to certain things on the play. So you can never premeditate what those are. So it changes every night. That's what I mean. Yeah.
We spoke about the Afrikaans, you speaking Afrikaans as a black woman, and then you blocking out the negative comments, right, that people would often give if they weren't any directed at you specifically. But how do you, in this industry that has become quite brutal, if we think about it, block out those negative comments about your acting, about how you look, about...
Yay, I still want to know as well, Wuti, how. I just focus on the prize, man. I just focus on the job, which is the prize, to do the job professionally and diligently. And I just shut out the noise, because if you're going to pay attention to the naysayers, you're not going to get anywhere. You won't move forward, which is going to keep you at the same place. And I'm looking to grow within this industry. So I just shut out the noise. As simple as that. There's no trick or secret recipe as to how to do it. But then again, I am human. And on other days, I'll wake up and I'm not feeling so great at shutting out the noise. And I'm just like, I'm going to clap back. And they're like, whoa. No, we are not doing that. We are not going to give people platform so that they can shine on your platform. Just relax, let it go. but yeah, it's hard. It's hard sometimes to be the bigger person.
Yeah. Who reminds you to be the bigger person?
It's always my friends, my siblings, and my partner all the time. They're like, hey, just move on. And my manager, of course, like, just move on. That person doesn't even have a profile picture on their thing, so just move on.
So when we look at South African women in this industry, or being a woman in this industry, what has your experience been like over the years?
Oh, man. I think I'm one of those, how do I put it, fortunate ones. When I say that, it's because I started working for a production company that valued me and also gave me opportunities. While I was at Sevenland, I also got trained as a director. And at the end of the training, obviously, one had to choose if you are going through with the directing or the acting. And I chose the acting. So I've been, like I say, I've been really, really fortunate that I worked for a production company that opened opportunities for me, and a broadcaster as well that was not shy to put me up on stages where that I'm emceeing when we do road shows, which is SABC, and obviously, and yeah, it's been really really awesome for me. I must say, yeah.
Do you at any point regret not taking up the director role and still sticking to your guns of being an actress?
I knew one day it's going to catch up with me. Yeah, I do. I do. Simply because, I mean, I feel like, especially now in the last year and a half, I could have done more directing more than acting, because I haven't done a lot of acting in the last year and a half. So yeah, but I don't regret it so much, because I can still do it. Yeah.
Is there a particular reason why you haven't done a lot of acting in the past year and a half?
Yeah, there is. So Sevenland finished in 2023, and 2024 I did a few films and commercials, and obviously the industry has been quiet. Everybody is going through it within the entertainment industry, so that is why it's not by choice, but I am out there, I am auditioning, and I am lucky enough to get gigs here and there, which is great. Yeah.
And so how do you then make ends meet? We saw it in 2020.
Yeah.
When everything shut down in 2020. But for you to then not be able to do what you love for a year and a half, yes, you're getting, the bits and pieces here and there, but not to be on screen for a year and a half, for a long time. How do you then make ends meet as an actor?
Yes, I won't lie. It's been very, very hard, very hard. If it wasn't for the support of the family and friends that I have, and obviously already last year, which is 2024, my savings had run out already.
Sure.
But if it wasn't for the family and friends that I have, I don't know where I'd be, and if it wasn't for the small jobs that I get here and there, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just grateful for my family and friends.
You speak, and I don't want to dwell too much on it, but you speak about, of course, Sevenland ending 2023.
Yeah.
A year and a half that you weren't able to act. But I then wonder what that then, and you say that, the industry is tough. It's been difficult for the industry in itself. But I then wonder what it is about the industry where they aren't able to pick up and perform an actress like yourself with the caliber that you have to say, listen, this is coming out, because we've seen a lot of productions coming out in the past year and a half, to say this is coming out. We think, Nobuhle is the right person for it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But like I say, it's not like I haven't completely been able to get work. I've had work. Some of it is still coming out. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I've received calls. It just hasn't followed through, if you know what I mean. So I would receive a call and say, hey, we're interested in doing this role. Would you be interested? I'm like, yeah. And then somehow, I don't know.
It just fades away.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's something that we are seeing in South Africa, the phenomenon of social media.
Yeah.
Where you must be on the socials, you must be posting so many things, you must have so many followers, and so forth. Do you think that also plays a role in people like yourself with such talent, with the qualifications?
Look, unfortunately, it does. I mean, when we go for castings, on the form that we fill in, where you put your name and your previous work and whatever, there's space now where you fill in how many followers you have on TikTok, on Facebook, and you're like, okay, what's this got to do with the job? But it's a thing. And that's how our industry has changed. And we've got to adapt to it, whether we like it or not, because apparently the numbers that you have on social media will transcend to the audiences that come and watch. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Really?
I don't know. That's what they say. So we're just doing it as well, because that's what it is. I don't think so. I don't think the numbers, if I've got 1.4 million followers on Instagram, not all 1.4 million followers will come and watch the show.
True.
So, but that is a notion that it works like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Must actually try get like a casting director one day so that they can try and explain this,
that part
for us. But let's talk about representation. You represented black women who speak Afrikaans, I suppose colored women as well who speak Afrikaans in Seven Delan.
Yeah.
But you also have been a champion for body positivity. Talk to us about that intentional advocacy work.
I've always grown up to be a big girl. I don't at home I was the only big girl, and in the society that I grew up in, it was always like, hey, we don't give them much light, these big ones.
Yeah.
They must just move on with their lives. And I always made it a point to Gucci. Listen, we also matter and we also are here, so please see us and hear us. And it just started from that to especially coming to this space of TV world and acting, where people always said to me, are you sure you want to do acting? Because there isn't a lot of big girls on TV. And I'm like, okay, well,
where does your body come into
well,
it?
now there's going to be a big girl. And and my part about it was like, we are also here and we're here to take up space. We're all just human at the end of the day with different shapes and sizes, and that's where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I suppose you've gotten let me ask actually, what has been the response that you then got, to say, look, this is how I look and I'm going to be on TV, and the people that watched you as well? What was their response like?
Majority was, it's always just the small group of people that are like, oh, she's so big. Oh, she mustn't be doing this. But in majority, once you are out there, they're like, hey, wait a minute, who's that girl? Mm-hmm. She's doing her thing. So we like her. She's doing the right thing. So I always had immaturity, Bantu supporting me, which is good. And also, I think, like I said earlier, going back to a girl sitting somewhere at home who also is a big girl, who can recognize themselves in me, who said, man, I can do this, whatever it is that they wanted to get into, whether it be acting or plus size modeling, because we only knew models to be the skinny ones. But like, we are here, guys, and we need clothes too, so we're gonna model. So yeah, more than anything, immaturity abantu was supportive. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You co-produced Africa's Next Plus Size Model, as you speak about plus size modeling, right? What inspired that project, and what are some of the best outstanding moments that you can think of?
It was exactly that. It was showing the community at large that big girls matter too, embracing ourselves. Again, to say, we've always known models to be skinny people, and the reality of it is we have different shapes and sizes in this world, and we've got to celebrate all of them. My biggest highlight obviously was wearing the producer's hat. Okay, it came with all sorts of guns blazing, where you have to do damage control, where you have to decide you're running out of time for the day to shoot whatever you need to shoot, and you have to decide, are we cutting the scene or are we going to move on to it the next day, and how does that affect the production as a whole? So the biggest highlight for me was just learning about what a producer has to go through on a day-to-day basis. I was also talent on the show. So wearing 2 hats at once.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is insane, but it was worth it. It was worth it because it grew me as a person as well. Yeah.
It's 14:49 on Power 98.7. That's the voice of Nobuhle Mahlasela. She's a South African actress, and we'll continue our conversation with Nobuhle in a short while.
Get in touch with Tshegohaco on X at Tshegohaco Moagi _
14:52. Wow, on Power 98.7 in conversation with Nobuhle Mahlasela this afternoon, leading us to the top of the hour. Nobuhle, you've done a lot of acting. We spoke now about the work that you've done with, as an advocate for plus size women. Let's speak about some of your voiceover work as well. And I suppose this is the thing with being in this space, that you must be quite versatile.
Well, within our course here, drama, we are taught almost everything, from acting to doing makeup to directing to voiceovers. We had a voiceover class, so I've done a lot of voiceovers over the years for a lot of brands. So that also gives you an opportunity to play a different character each time. So yeah, voiceover work is nice. It's also now, I would say, another source of an income in the industry if you are not on screen. So yeah.
And so, as a person who's been on screen for so many years, 18 years on our screens or in the industry, what is the one thing that you think, or maybe a few things that you think you've learned about this particular industry and that you may have had to learn the hard way?
Time management.
Okay.
Yeah. Your time is not your time in this industry. We call it the hurry up and wait game, because literally you would hurry to go to set only to get there and wait, because there's either a technical issue, they have to wait because they have to rewrite the scene, and you can't afford to drop the ball and be late. If your call time is 7 o'clock, you have to be there at 6:45. Yeah. So it's time management that I've learned, and now I've got it. Okay, I think now I'm the boss of the time, and everyone at home is like, yo, uyeza lo yami sesicela ukuthi asilande, and uzofika sekulate. But yeah, it's that.
Look, I suppose in this industry, Vele, you must be on time.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yep.
Right? You definitely must be on time. But what are some of the success stories that you think you definitely share, later on in life with the younger actors and actresses as they enter the space?
I think the one thing that I would share as a success story is not only just my testimony of being on Tshegohaco. I also was on Shaka Ilembe season 1.
Yes.
Which I've always wanted to work with production, like from before I was even in the industry, because they did Yizo and all those amazing series. And when I saw it, I was like, one day I want to work with this production. And when I went to audition for Shaka Ilembe season 1, the fact that they saw me and that I mattered, I didn't get the role that I auditioned for, but they said, we still want to work with you. We want you to be part of the show. So that for me was a success story. So if you persevere and keep going, and apply yourself thoroughly, you will go far in this industry. You will go very far, and be professional as well, guys. Nothing speaks volumes like being professional in this industry. Be professional, be respectful, not only to your co-stars, but to the crew that we work with. Respect them as well, because they are on the job too, like you are. Without them, we wouldn't have the picture at the end of the day on the screen.
And they could sabotage you, right?
Yeah, I don't think they can, because then I'm like, they have no choice but to make me look good. But,
Yeah.
but basically what I'm saying is just respect them as well, because they are just as important as you are. Yeah.
What do you do for fun?
Yes, I go out a lot, hey? This one time I bumped into a guy at a shopping center. He's like, "Nang no siso chaiva, yeah, we are chaiva no siso." And that is true. And he's like, I saw you at this event. I think it was just Chibi Delicious or something. He's like, hey, you were having a time of your life. Wherever I go, I have the time of my life.
So, what jive?
Yeah. I go out a lot. Also, what I do for fun is spend time with family and friends because this industry demands so much of my time. So whatever time that I've got, I always want to be with the people that I love who are close to me, just to plug into reality because, it can get crazy. Yeah.
What do you do to calm the mind?
I read. Also listen to a lot of music. I love music, so I listen to a lot of music.
Any specific genres?
I'm a hip hop lover.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a hip hop lover. And I think a neo soul as well. But yeah, first love hip hop. Yeah.
What's your favorite dish?
Pasta. Anything pasta. It would be the creamy chicken pasta. I know everyone's like, oh, not that, but it's my favorite. Anything with pasta dish and meat. Ngiyayithanda inyama. Ngiyayithanda inyama. So anything with meat, especially wors. I love wors.
Okay.
Yeah.
What upsets you?
People that disrespect me.
Okay.
Yeah. People that disrespect me. Yeah.
What makes you happy?
The fact that I'm able to wake up and live my life every day. It's not easy because I've been battling mental health issues for a very long time. And some of the things that I've gone through that I'm somewhat getting over only now after 40. So the fact that I'm able to get up and want to live my life and not end it, that makes me happy.
And we are happy that you do that.
Yeah.
We are so happy that you do that. What's next for you? What are you working on?
Currently, I shot an international series. It sucks that we can't speak about these things and
I
say
know.
what it is and who I worked with. I can't wait to tell you. I can't wait for you guys to see it because I'm like, I'm international, baby. So we're waiting for that to come out. And I'm auditioning. That's what I'm doing. And I'm venturing into something outside of this industry in a personal capacity. So as soon as it kicks off, everybody's going to know about it because the socials are there. But
Amazing. We can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Just your social media handles for us?
On Instagram, it's at Nobuhle1. And then on TikTok, it's at Nobuhle Mimi 1. On X, it's at Nobuhle 1. And on Facebook, it's Nobuhle Mimi Mahlasela, the actress.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Truly appreciate it. What a lovely conversation. And all the best with what you're doing next. We can't wait to see you on our screens again.
Yes,
it's going to be so good.
Thank
you. Thank you so much, Nobuhle Mahlasela, there speaking to us about her career path and really just joining us on Who's for Lunch. That's how we wrap up Power Lunch this afternoon.